Hello everybody, welcome back to Tico Traders. I know it's a little late right now, but I want to jump right into it. I know it's late, so I want to get it over with. So let's take a look at everything so everybody has a chance to see what's going on. Now, before I do that, I want to thank everybody for coming to our new website. I want to thank everybody for posting these articles, and we really appreciate that because it keeps everybody informed. Okay, so I'm going to quickly dive into it. I also want to thank QuoteStream for allowing us to make these videos using their platform. Okay, so first thing I want to get off my chest, everybody's been talking about it. April the 20th is 420, right? So usually stocks, they rally on the day or the day before. That's just always been the norm, right? So let's take a quick look here before we go into anything. Let's go back on a yearly chart. So the green candle is, the 19th. So we had a nice rally the day before. And then on the 20th, we had a drop. What about Aurora? Let's see over here. Same thing. April the 19th. Then the following day, a drop. So tomorrow could be possibly a good day. Following by a gap up tomorrow. So on Friday. So we're going to look forward to it. It's a good day. Everybody likes to celebrate that day. And, every stock, every company has their day. And Friday should be the day for these stocks. But it also could be Thursday. So, just because it's Friday, be careful, everybody, because you know how it is in the stock market. Sometimes we buy on the rumor and sell on the news, right? So the market's a little bit reversed, and it likes to play different games every year. So if last year we had Thursday a rally, then this year might be a Friday. So you have to always keep that in mind, okay? So now that you guys saw the charts a little bit there, keep that in mind. That I know for all of you that have been coming to our chat room and have been involved on a regular basis, have realized that by now that the brokers play tricks on a regular basis, basically. You never know what they're going to try to pull. So it might be a Thursday or a Friday or even a Monday, but I always like to position myself for those days because usually something does happen. Okay, let's take a quick look at Afria. So Afria did a nice little rally on the rumor of their earnings. And earnings are always great times, and it's always fun to play stocks for earnings because they do usually do what they're supposed to do. And Afria did exactly what it did. Now it did a nice little run up to $12 almost, and it came right back down again, right? But you have to understand that Afria started from $10 and went all the way up to almost 12. Over 12, I think it was. What was it here? It was at 12, almost to $13, right? I mean, 12.39. So it touched 12.39. That was a hell of a rise. You have to understand that. So when a stock pulls back, it pulled back to the green EMA 11.14. So according to how things are, Afria did break its downtrend. It should hold the green line, which is the what? Right here, you get 250 EMA. It should hold the 250 EMA, and it should do a nice move up. MACD did cross signal. So again, it's a positive pressure. And we do have 420 coming along, and Afria's earnings were just nothing but amazing, like always. Our expectations are always it's always a home run for these guys, right? So anyway, the goal should be that Afria should hold the 250 EMA, and it should, because that would be a nice, beautiful beginning to a beautiful uptrend, because it's already broken the downtrend. I know a lot of you that come to our chat room and that are members. You've seen the video that I've made about the stocks that we love, and Afria was one of them. And I did a bunch of analysis on Afria. I drew some lines and some fibs. So Afria did break its downtrend. So now it should be trending up. But stocks like to climb in staircases, right? So we have to be realistic. I know everybody wants a home run, but everybody has to realize that the best baseball players in the world that hit the nicest home runs also have the biggest strikeout records as well, right? So we're not here to hit home runs, right? We're here to take a lot of nice big wins, small ones. So we do understand that stocks drop in staircases, like a stair right here, and now we have a climb in a staircase pattern as well. And we knew something was going to happen negative today because that candlestick is red and it does look like a Marabuzu. So we did, a pullback occurred, and it was very healthy that it occurred, and it fell to 10.96. That was very healthy because the stock rallied from $10 to $12.39. That's ridiculous. A $2.39 rally without a correction, you can't expect that. When a stock moves that fast, that much, it's going to pull back a little bit because it's a healthy kind of consolidation. You have to understand, think of it this way. If you bought a free at $10 and it went all the way up to $12.39, wouldn't you want to take some of your profits? And that's what usually happens. People take some of their profits until the stock stabilizes, and then I believe a FRIA should stabilize at $11. Now, a FRIA likes to play a lot of games. There's no doubt about that. Not the company itself, but the brokers that run the program, right? So anyway, don't be surprised if you see like 1096. No, there's like before FRIA rose, it was at 990, 1010. It stayed in that range just to give people that mixed feeling of possibly going up or possibly going down, and then all of a sudden it shut up like a rocket ship, right? So now it's at 1112, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back down to 1090 or 1096, just to scare people out. Ruin their confidence that the stock is going to rise, because that's what they do. That's what they do on a regular basis. They'll keep stocks in that price range to discourage you. That's why they like the 50-cent range, and they like the $1 range, because if it's in the 50, if the stock is in the 47 cents range, it's below 50, right? So it gives you the feeling, oh my God, it's below 50. It's going to go right back down to if it's 850, it's going to go right back down to 8. But if it's above 850, it's going to go to 9 because it's above that 50-cent range, right? So they love to play those games. But bottom line, a FRIA did cross signal, and a FRIA likes to stay above signal for a while. It's like over here, if it crossed it on March 5th, it stayed above all the way to March 25th, so 20 days. So when it did cross 13th, we can anticipate all of April to be above signal, right? So we're hoping for some good movement here. MACD pressure is going good. It's stabilizing, but it should be okay. Okay, moving on to Aurora. Now I know on the weekend I'm going to do more analysis on this, and I'm going to drop all the fibs just like I do on the website. That's going to be a continuous thing. That's a little ritual that we came up with, and we're going to continue doing it for as long as the members like it. And if the members have any suggestions, we will focus on the members first. So okay, anyway, MACD did also cross signal on April the 13th, and Aurora is pretty much the same. When it does go up, it does like to hold above a month. So it did just cross it now, and it should hold the middle line, the blue line over here, which is the 150 EMA. Now Aurora's correction wasn't as significant or as dramatic as a FRIA's, but it did have a pretty good correction too. So it did drop down to right here, the 250 EMA. Meanwhile, a FRIA dropped even below because of their acquisition, which was amazing anyway. But that's just the way the market works. That's a story for a different day, for the educational videos that I'm going to be making. But in the meantime, the Auroras should be holding the blue line, which is the 150 EMA. It made it to the the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, which is always the goal. We don't expect, when stocks go to the bottom of the bands, we don't expect them to go up right away. Our first goal is the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, and sometimes they cross the middle line and go all the way to the top, but usually that's not the case. Like look over here, a FRIA dropped to the middle, made it to the middle there, pulled back a little bit, and then went to the top again. That is a very normal pattern for stocks. And the same thing could occur here. That a FRIA did make it to the middle of the bands. Now it's pulling back a little bit before it makes it to the top again. So same thing for Aurora. Aurora made it to the middle, just like over here, guys. Look, it made it right after a big correction. It made it to the middle. It pulled back. It actually went sideways here for a while. That's a bullish flag, right? I know from a lot of you. I know people that have been watching this channel know by now this is a bullish flag. We have a pull here, followed by a flag, followed by another breakout. That's why we call it the bullish flag, because we anticipate another bullish run after the flag is done. So we had a bullish flag, another bullish run. We had a big correction here. Now here, this stock looks like it's correcting itself a little bit, but now it should continue its pattern to the top of the bands. That would be a very healthy pattern, because MACD is also above signal. So that is our goal, right? Our goal is it's going to pull back somehow, just like our FRIA did to the green line here. That's very healthy. Now, sometimes these stocks can go a little bit below the green line just to scare people out, right? Because they know we're watching these charts, guys. They know it. That's why they go a little bit above and a little bit below. Just like over here, it touched the middle line of the bands, but it actually went above a little bit, right? Meanwhile here, it actually rested on the middle. So they know we're watching, and sometimes these stocks don't behave exactly 100%, but they behave predictably enough to make an income. So same thing with Aurora on the other hand, a little bit more predictable. It sat on the middle of the bands. Now it's pulling back a little bit. And for Aurora, it might just bounce off to 863, the blue line over here. That would be a nice correction for Aurora, followed by an upward movement. Now going back to weed. Weed should have the same kind of pattern. MACD did just cross signal for it. Now weed did a nice run up to the middle of the bands here. Nicely to the middle. And now it seems to be resting on the blue line, which is the blue EMA, the 50 EMA. Now weed has been acting way more stronger than everybody else. That's just because they've been buying everybody, acquiring it. They've been making so many moves, it's unreal. Love it. It's an amazing company these days. I love their aggressive approach, just like Aurora as well. I still love Afria, no, can't take that away. But weed and Aurora have been making a lot of moves, and honestly, very, very impressed by it. And so has Afria. That acquisition of New was just an amazing, amazing move. Totally game changer. But anyway, weed is resting on the blue line here, which is the 50 EMA. Now it should hold that 50 EMA, or if it's gonna dip, it might dip a little bit below it just to scare people out, followed by an upward movement. So all these stocks should have an upward movement because MACD did cross signal. That's just another indication of a positive move. Moving on to OGI. OGI also crossed signal. So every MACD crossed signal on OGI. Now OGI, that the green line, which is the 150 EMA, should be the support for it. So now that it climbed over, it did make it to the middle of the Bollinger Bands, as you guys could see here. That was the middle right there. That broken line is the middle of the Bollinger. These are the Bollinger Bands right here for a lot of new viewers. But it should rest on the 150 EMA, which is the green line. That's a exponential moving average right here. So it did touch it, and it's doing pretty good. And now it should follow by a upward movement. So we're in the 89 cents range, right below 4. Hopefully everything should go well. We do have some nice support at 80. We should go to the $4 range. I mean, if anything, we should go to the 440 range. The ultimate goal for OGI is 440 for now, for its first temporary goal. The ultimate goal right now in the short-term perspective would be 35 for weed. Now, for Afria, the short-term perspective goal should be 1394 or 1390, because that's going to change a little bit. It's going to adjust itself. And for Aurora, it should be in the $10 range, right? 1035. That's our first goal, right? If we achieve that goal, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we hope for when we trade stocks. Stocks fall to the bottom of the bands and then they rise to the top of the bands. Now MYM has been acting a little bit differently, showing weakness, riding the new low that it's in. Now MYM did rise quickly, guys. You have to understand, every stock is a little different. MYM you have to understand, it went from a 50-cent range all the way up to almost $5. I mean, that's what? 50? 6? Oh my God, that's like what? That's insanity, that's what, 10 times more almost? That is an increase. That's a crazy increase. So it's gonna have to correct a little bit. I mean, it wouldn't make sense not to, right? So this is a great healthy correction for this stock. Now it should hold this range, and we'll see what happens. It should the stock is gonna it's still showing a downtrend kind of thing if you actually look at it. I don't want to get into it too much. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get into it too much. I'll save that for the other videos. But it is showing a little bit of a downtrend because there's not much news coming out, right? Look, the trend will continue until some important news or some important factor will reverse the trend, right? So the trend is going to be down, 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 down until something major happens. Something dramatic happens. Now, look, all these drops have been drops followed by an up, by a short cover rally, drop, short cover rally, drop, and now we're going sideways, which is a good indication of the bottom. MACD is about to cross signal, so this is probably the bottom for this stock, if I was going to guess. Now, following this stock, ABCN, it did make it to the middle of the bands, and it's actually green and it's at the middle, so there's not much we can say other than MACD did cross signal. It should be continuing its upward movement, just like the other guys. Now, Crown exceeded expectations. MACD did cross signal. It's looking great. Not only did it cross, see how sometimes stocks go to the middle sometimes, they pull back sometimes and they follow up. But this one actually almost made it to the top. It actually made it to halfway between the middle and the top. So that is a very strong indication. I like strong stocks like that, right? I mean, I like it. It shows a lot of strength. It shows that not only can I get to the middle, but I can get a little bit higher. Now, for this stock to correct, might be actually the middle of the bands. This stock actually might go down to the middle of the band, of the Bollinger Band right here. That line right there, the broken line. It might do a bounce, followed by an uptrend. Or if this stock is really strong, it might just continue its uptrend now. And this last candlestick here showed some buying pressure, so it's looking pretty good. Now THC X, I mean, this is the example of a strong stock, okay? Not only did it go to the bottom, but it went right from the bottom to the middle to almost the top. And now it looks like it's correcting itself. And again, the correction could be the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, that broken line. MACD's above signal, everything looking great. Buying pressure, that wick on the bottom shows buying pressure. Now MMJ, that's showing a little bit less weakness like the other guys. It never had enough steam. It didn't have that steam necessary to climb over the middle of the Bollinger Bands right there. It actually fell short a little bit a little bit below it. And now it's pulling back, and now it looks like we have a hammer here. We had a red hammer, now we have a green hammer. It's showing that it doesn't want to drop, but MACD is writing signal. So it's a little 50-50, but I think it should hold this price range. Now ISO has been halted, and then look at that drop, and look what happened. MACD crossed signal, MACD. So we should have some positive pressure, and I believe this should be the bottom for it. It's been halted, and I know for all of you that are following it, MACD has been below signal for a while, so it's time for MACD to get above signal and to show some positive pressure. Well, and still look at the support here. Wow. But we do have some resistance here. I'm not familiar with the stock, but it just popped up in front of my eyes. We do have major resistance, and we do have some support. So, actually we have a lot of resistance. We have 179, 40, 59. So it's going to take some buying pressure to move this stock up. It's showing more negative pressure than positive pressure right now, but that could all change tomorrow. Now here are both of our ETFs. ETFs, just like this one, with the junior and the regular ETF, both did cross over the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, and they did somewhat of a little correction, which is nothing wrong with that. Now CBW, I'm in that one. I have some, everybody knows now that I have two accounts. I have a swing account and I have a day trading account. I have some CBW in my swing. Now it did make it to the middle, exceeded the middle a little bit. Now it pulled back a little bit. That's okay. 54, 55. We do have a lot of support. 60, 60, 40. A lot less resistance and support. The stock looks good. It's a strong stock. You can't complain. That company's got nothing better. It's got nothing but good things going for it. So now GLH, talk about GLH. Now GLH has a lot of things coming for it this month. So I've been trading GLH. I was able to be profitable during this nice beautiful rally up here, and I positioned myself again. Now for me it's do or die, 25 cents. So we do have some support here at 421, and I believe we should hold that support. MACD is above signal, so we do have some net positive pressure, but you also have to understand that it fell to 22.5 cents. So it rose all the way up to 30. That is a big rise. That's a 30-40% rise for this stock. That's a lot of movement here. So it did pull back a little bit, and now I believe it should hold this price range. It should not fall below 25. It should do a bounce off this one, followed by an uptrend. That would be a healthy correction for this one. Now, if it does fall below 25, I'm going to buy more of it because they're finishing up their cultivation and possible sales license and earnings, and they're working on a franchise. They're doing so much right now. So that's a company I'm never going to let go of. And let's see, Genie. Now, Genie's been consolidating here very nicely. The Bens haven't been really contracting or expanding, but kind of showing the same kind of distance between each other. So this could take a little while. It's nice to see them tightening up, but they're not really tightening up. They're holding the same kind of distance between each other. So we could still see a little bit more consolidating before we see a upward movement or a downward drop. And I believe this stock has nowhere to go but up. So we'll see what happens. It could still go to the bottom of the bands, but it could also go to the top. Just depends what's going to happen. I mean, we did just go to the top. We went to the bottom. Now we're holding the half. And now we'll have to see what happens. MACD is riding signal, so it's 50-50. Fire did make it a little bit over the middle line of the Bollinger Bands here. And now we have a spinning top, a green one, meaning it's 50-50, but it's green. So let's just say 60-40. MACD is above signal, so let's just say 65-40. So I believe it should hold the middle of the middle line of the Bollinger Bands. So it should be okay. I'm not in that one anymore. I was with that one, but not anymore. I took a loss on that one, and I've had enough. So I'll leave that one alone until I can see a possible profit. Because I like to get my money back. Every time I lose something on a stock, I take a step back. I don't try to go out there and get my revenge on what the stock did to me. But I step back, I reanalyze my strategy, and I look for the perfect timing to jump back into it to get that money back. Because sooner or later they're going to pay us back if you watch them and you have the patience to watch them. Because that's all it is. It's all about patience. Sooner or later they'll pay us back. Okay. These guys also did rise to the middle of the Bollinger Bands, and now they're pulling back. MACD is riding signal, so it's 50-50. Mari showing a little bit of weakness. Actually, it's showing more of a down trend, as you guys could see. So if it does follow its downtrend, it could go right back down again. Now MACD is above signal, so maybe this could be the bottom, and now this could have been the bottom here, and now this stock could be actually climbing up. So, but it is showing a downtrend. If anybody's in this stock, if anybody out there is a member of our website and would like me to do some more analysis on these stocks, please let us know. And I want to let everybody know that we do have a video player on our website that I do additional analysis on. So for members only, I do additional analysis. So please let me know what stocks you want me to do it on, and the extra analysis, I will do it on here. It's my pleasure, okay? Because not only do I do it for you guys, but when I do it for you, I might actually be buying it too. Sometimes it's thanks to you guys that I buy a stock, and vice versa, right? So now we have HIP consolidating. The band is getting tighter. Again, I have alerts set for this one, but we'll see what happens to this one soon. MACD is riding. Everything is 50-50 with this one, but it's looking good. I am watching this one like a hawk, because it's either going to break out or break down. Something will happen. Look at the support here. We do have some nice support at the dollar range. I am watching this one big time. Like I said, I have my alert set for this one. That's how much I'm watching it. If it crosses I think it's 110, I'm going to get 10,000 emails coming in. So now TGIF, look at the power in TGIF. It made it to the bottom, over exceeded the middle line, and almost made it to the top. And now it could possibly correct itself to the middle before it continues its uptrend. But now that red candlestick is not looking too good. So, but then again, look at the support we have here. Look at the support we have here. We do have a lot of support. MACD is above signal. The middle line of the Bollinger Bands or the green line could be support for TGIF. It might actually bounce off of these two lines might actually touch each other. The middle of the bands and the 150 EMA might actually touch each other, and the stock's price might actually bounce off that price and continue its uptrend. Now NSP, Well, just like the other guys, it did cross to the middle of the bands. It actually exceeded it. MACD is above signal. Same thing. The goal would be the top of the bands, right? That's our goal all the time, guys. Now, I am with BE. I ended up buying BE in the $1.90 range. In the high 90s, I bought it. I just thought it was a good deal. BE did climb over the middle of the bands. It's showing a lot of negative pressure but here, the last candlestick, which happened today, it's kind of like a hammer. I believe this was the bottom for it, but BE likes to over-exaggerate. MACD was above signal. It tried to climb over, but it's riding signal. This kind of looks like a hammer. I believe this was the bottom, and BE should follow its uptrend, because it wouldn't make sense. But then BE is so tricky. BE is so manipulated by the brokers and the market makers that it's a classic example of perfect manipulation. These guys should be all in prison, writing this. What they do to this beautiful company. This is an amazing company that's being destroyed by the market makers and the brokers. They're completely manipulating this stock. It's disgusting. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this stock did have a nice little downtrend here, which is okay. That was normal. It did do a nice little bounce over the the middle line of the bands, but it should have held the middle, or maybe dipped a little bit below, but not this low. This is just ridiculous. I mean, it's going back to it still has a higher low, but there's no reason it should have corrected this much. But that's BE for you. Guys, I've been trading BE for a while, and when I buy BE, I know it's going to go against me right away. I know that as soon as I buy it, they manipulate the price or immediately. I know if I buy BE, I'm going to be stuck in this company. I might be lucky to get 1 or 2 trades a week with this company, because that's how much they manipulate this company. It's disgusting. And it's so amazing. It's not just me noticing it. It's everybody in the chat room. People get to see these share sizes, how they manipulate this stock. So when I bought this stock, when I buy BE, I automatically tell myself, whatever I do with BE, it's going to go against me immediately after I buy it. And I'm most likely going to be stuck in it for 3 days to a week. Worst comes to worst, 2 weeks. That's my automatic. I don't day trade BE. I know it's going to be a swing trade, because they will manipulate this stock big time. Now, if anybody wants to learn about manipulation, watch the BE stock. It's an amazing company that's being completely manipulated by the market makers. And if you want to learn about making it, what I'm trying to say is, when I make my videos and educationals on manipulation, it's going to be BE that I'm going to be focusing on, because it's just disgusting. I know how to play them, so I'm not worried about it. But hey, since I'm talking about it, I might as well talk about it, right? Okay, moving on to HVT. HVT, same thing, middle of the Bollinger Bands. Now it's pulling back, and it should hold the middle of the Bollinger Bands or a little bit below. And the last candlestick is showing a little bit of a pattern of a hammer, showing that there is some buying pressure and the price wants to move up. And MACD is kind of confirming it as well. MACD is above signal. LHS, MACD is above signal. It did climb over the middle line of the Bollinger Bands and dipped down below. We had a cross of indecision, another cross, but almost like a hammer. And now it looks like it wants to get back up again and continue its uptrend. And MACD is confirming it. EMC totally exceeded any expectation out there. Not only did it drop to the bottom, but it over exceeded and it climbed way above and beyond. Now remember, everybody, when a stock price or a candlestick goes above the Bollinger Bands, see, this is the Bollinger Bands right here. Here within we are within the Bollinger Bands. When we're outside of the Bollinger Bands, we're in the 4% range, meaning that we're in 2% here and 2% there. So when a candlestick is in the 2% range, you have to remember this: 98% of the time, or 96, depending on how you look at it, 96% of the time, trades will happen within the Bollinger Bands. So 2% of the time right there on top, and 2% of the time on the bottom. So when a candlestick is above the Bollinger Bands, it's in the 2% range. That means that, if you're going to play odds or go to the casino or do whatever, when the odds are 96% against you, you better be careful, right? If 96% of the trades happen within the Bollinger Bands and there's a candlestick above and beyond the Bollinger Bands, you know that you're in the 2%, 4% range. That is just a matter of time before the stock gets back into the Bollinger Bands. So when you're like this over here, let's say I had this stock over here. I bought it here, and by some miracle of God, I had enough patience to actually hold it to this point, because I would have sold it over here. But if I had the guts to hold it, I would definitely sell everything here, because when you're above in the 2-4% range, you better get rid of, I like to get rid of everything that I have, because it's just a matter of time before it goes in the Bollinger Bands. And the stock price did drop into it. It opened up here. That's why it's a red candlestick, meaning that the price opened up over here, top left, and it closed at the bottom right. So now it closed in the Bollinger Bands in the 96% range, and even today it's holding in the Bollinger Bands, right? Okay, moving on to EMH. Same thing, it climbed over the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, and now it looks like it's holding kind of like a hammer-like candlestick, and MACD's confirming it. So Hiku, a little bit weaker than others, and never had the steam to climb up to the middle, showing a little bit of weakness, but it looks like it wants to attempt again to climb to the middle, and MACD's 50-50, so this is 50-50 right here. Now Leaf, perfect example of so much strength. This doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I want to point this out. The stock fell to the bottom, and not only did it climb to the middle and did a little correction, but this stock had the strength and the steam to climb all the way from the bottom all the way to the top of the Bollinger Bands, and now it's doing a little correction. So see guys, how predictably stocks can behave? They fall to the bottom, and why did it climb to the top? Why didn't it climb to 22 or to the middle? Because they behave predictably, guys, and that's why this game of trading can be a profitable game that you can make an income on, because these stocks do behave more predictably than unpredictably. There's a lot of patterns you can find when you watch these stocks very carefully. Blow, same thing, same kind of strength. It went all the way from the bottom, showed a hammer-like candlestick, and it went all the way to the top, but did not make it, but it did touch it with the wick. And now it corrected itself to the middle. Very nice. So now that's a beautiful correction, right? Beautiful, beautiful pattern. Now these guys never had the strength to go even to get to the middle there, but they almost made it to the middle. MACD's still below signal. MACD's going to have to cross signal before we get some positive steam on that one. Now Terror is still riding the bottom after such a great climb. You know, you're going to expect something, guys. I'm sorry. There's going to be somewhat of a correction after such a climb like this. But this is becoming a big correction, and if it does correct itself to the red line, that's a pretty severe correction, a 38% fib, because this is a Marabuzu, meaning that this stock could actually drop even more. I would bet on this stock dropping even more. I would say this stock is going to drop to the red line, which is the 100 EMA. So I wouldn't buy this one, obviously, but NAC. NAC is right in the middle, looking pretty good. 50-50 on that one, though. 2 right in the middle, crosses of indecision for 50-50. Now these guys are just going down. These guys are just going down. Unfortunately, they're gonna have to pump up some news and do something positive and amazing before a trend will continue until the only way a trend will reverse itself is through some good news, and they're gonna need some good news, or the stock is gonna continue dropping. You know, give us some good news, or the stock will drop. I'm not in this stock, but for anybody else that's in there. Okay, N. Now N looks like it found the bottom here at the green line and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. It never had the steam to go up, but now it looks like it's holding. It's 50-50, so this stock is 50-50. It could climb up. It looks like it did find this bottom, maybe. So I would say it's still 50-50. That's my guess with this one. Let's look at a 6-month chart on this one. It's kind of consolidating sideways. Yeah, it's definitely going to have to hold the green line to survive. It could do the bounce off the green line and then finally do its uptrend. Because MACD was below signal. If MACD does cross signal, then we can actually see a climb with this one. Now CHV, I know they have some good news on the table, so it might change and it might actually move up. Now CHV, it did climb to the middle, pulling back a little bit, showing a weakness too. Nothing too good about that one. I love that pattern there. It did climb over and beyond. Look again in the 2% range here, so 4% or 2% range, however you guys want to call it. Yeah, now it's pulling back because the price cannot stay in the 4% range for too long. It's going to pull back, and now it's in the 96% range, which is in the normal range of the stock price. So now what it could fall to, it could fall to the blue line, and bounce off there and continue its uptrend because MACD is still above signal. Now MMJ, we had a bottom, double bottom, and showing some weakness, and again it's going to need some news to turn that weakness around. Now PASS had a nice beautiful run up, another example of a stock being at the bottom of the bands and making its way up to the top and above and beyond. And now the question is, it's correcting itself, can it hold the middle? We have a kind of like a hammer-like figure candlestick, but MACD did cross signal, so the stock is showing a little bit of weakness because MACD cross signal. So the stock, I would guess, is either going to fall to the blue or the red line. Now CMED did climb over the middle, MACD finally cross signal, cross of indecision, so we could actually possibly guess that this could be the correction point of it, and it could follow by an uptrend. Okay, so I want to say thank you everybody for coming here. I really appreciate everybody coming and sharing your insight. Thank you for everybody for helping us build this site. It's such a pleasure, and I'm going to be there tomorrow, so I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow in the morning in the chat room, and I look forward to seeing everybody, and have yourself a great night. Hello everybody, welcome back to Tico Traders. I know it's a little late right now, but I want to jump right into it. I know it's late, so I want to get it over with. So let's take a look at everything so everybody has a chance to see what's going on. Now, before I do that, I want to thank everybody for coming to our new website. I want to thank everybody for posting these articles, and we really appreciate that because it keeps everybody informed. Okay, so I'm going to quickly dive into it. I also want to thank CodeStream for allowing us to make these videos using their platform. Okay, so first thing I want to get off my chest, everybody's been talking about it. April the 20th is 420, right? So usually stocks, they rally on the day or the day before. That's just always been the norm, right? So let's take a quick look here before we go into anything. Let's go back on a yearly chart. So the green candle is, the 19th. So we had a nice rally the day before, and then on the 20th it had a drop. What about Aurora? Let's see over here. Same thing, April 19th, then the following day a drop. So tomorrow could be possibly a good day, following by a gap up tomorrow, so on Friday. So we're going to look forward to it. It's a good day. Everybody likes to celebrate that day, and every stock, every company has their day, and Friday should be the day for these stocks. But it also could be Thursday. So, just because it's Friday, be careful everybody, because you know how it is in the stock market. Sometimes we buy on the rumor and sell on the news, right? So the market's a little bit reverse, and it likes to play different games every year. So if last year we had Thursday a rally, then this year might be a Friday. So you have to always keep that in mind, okay? So now that you guys saw the charts a little bit there, keep that in mind. That I know for all of you that have been coming to our chat room and have been involved on a regular basis, have realized that by now that the brokers play tricks on a regular basis, basically. You know, you never know what they're going to try to pull. So it might be a Thursday or a Friday or even a Monday. But I always like to position myself for those days because, usually something does happen. Okay, let's take a quick look at Afria. So Afria did a nice little rally on the news, on the rumor, of their earnings. And, earnings are always great times, and it's always fun to play stocks for earnings because they do usually do what they're supposed to do. And Afria did exactly what it did. Now, it did a nice little run up to $12 almost. And it came right back down again, right? But you have to understand that Afria started from $10 and went all the way up to almost 12. Over 12, I think it was. What was it here? It was at 12, almost to $13, right? I mean, 12.39. So it touched 12.39. That was a hell of a rise. You have to understand that. So when a stock pulls back, it pulled back the green EMA 11.14. So according to how things are, Afria did break its downtrend. It should hold the green line, which is the what? Right here, you get 250 EMA. It should hold the 250 EMA, and it should do a nice move up. MACD did cross signal, so again, it's a positive pressure. And we do have 420 coming along, and Afria's earnings were